Now listen and answer questions 11 to 16.
Okay, so it's really good that the three of you are starting today. I can give you this briefing all together and save time. Basically, you're all going to be waiting at table, moving between the kitchen, the dining room and the bar, taking the customers' orders and bringing them their food and drinks. Most things are fairly obvious, but sometimes when it gets busy, you have to find things in a hurry and there's nobody to ask. So I'm going to show you where one or two key items are kept. First, cutlery. Knives, forks, spoons, that kind of thing. As soon as each table is vacated, when the diners get up to leave, you should come and clear the table and relay it. The clean stuff is kept just inside the kitchen, okay? The same place where the chef leaves the plates of food that are ready to be served. Remember, waiters aren't allowed to enter the food preparation area itself, so you needn't go any further into the kitchen than that. But before you can lay the table, you'll need to put on fresh table linen. Obviously the napkins, but also the cloth, even if it looks clean, will need changing. Clean table linen is kept in a cupboard here below the till, where we deal with the customer's payments, so you may have to be patient if somebody's waiting for a credit card authorization or something. Now, customers are given menus when they first enter the restaurant to look at while they're waiting at the bar to be shown to their table. All you have to do is collect these up after you've taken the order and return them to the stand by the front door. There are always spares there if you need one. There are real flowers on each table. These don't usually get changed between customers, but if people want to take them, they can. Or sometimes they get damaged. Anyway, if you need new ones, you can find them in a bucket of water beside the door that leads into the yard behind the restaurant. And finally, if there's a spill or a glass gets knocked over or you need something to clean up the mess, there's a supply of disposable towels next to the barman's sink. That's something you're sure to be needing sooner or later. And if anyone actually gets injured, there is always a first aider on duty. There's a duty list on the wall in my office, and there's a red box on the wall by the door into the restroom which you share with the kitchen staff. That's got all the necessary stuff in, bandages, plasters and so on. So, has anyone got any questions so far?
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
And now, just a word about complaints. Ideally, we don't get any, but sometimes things can go wrong, and sometimes you also get difficult customers. Anyway, as the waiter, you will often be the person who gets to hear the complaint first. It's important not to respond, however, but to refer the complaint to the responsible person who will deal with it. As manager, I like to hear about all complaints, but I don't need to be directly involved in minor ones. If, for example, customers complain when they first enter the restaurant, perhaps they don't like their table or they're kept waiting too long, then there's no need to call me. This is something the head waiter will deal with. When it comes to the food itself, however, particular dishes that people don't like or whatever, there's a need to be cautious. The head chef is quite a strong character who doesn't like to be criticised. So, although in the end he will be responsible for dealing with complaints about the food, please don't approach him directly. Always go through the head waiter. Now, when it comes to complaints about the whole meal, whether it's the food or the service in general, then I do want to know. The head chef and the head waiter will be involved in sorting out the problem, but I want to speak to the customers myself and find out what's gone wrong and offer them a free meal or a discount. Finally, if the customer has already paid and then complains about anything, then this is something only the manager can sort out because it could be a refund, perhaps on a credit card, and this will need authorization. I'm generally in my office if I'm not actually in the dining room, so don't hesitate to call me. So, if there are no further questions...